Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Jane White, and I'm the Library Success Manager for Above the Tree Line, and I'm here today to talk about Basecamp. You may already be familiar with Edelweiss, or maybe you use it to learn about new titles for selection or reader's advisory, or maybe you're mostly there for the digital review copies. But Edelweiss can also help you with collection development and reader's advisory. When you upgrade your Edelweiss account to Basecamp, you will immediately get access to sales data for indie booksellers nationwide, as well as circulation data for other Edelweiss libraries. Switch between national library circulation or independent bookstore sales to suit your needs. You can even drill down to see sales data for specific regions, to see what's selling in your region, which might be different than the national data. Another benefit of Basecamp is that you'll be part of a select group of librarians that participate in one of our analytics tiers. This will enable you to see what other librarians are reading and reviewing. Essentially, the goal with Basecamp is to integrate your ILS data into Edelweiss, meaning that whenever you're looking at titles in Edelweiss, you'll immediately know if you own it and see basic circulation data. We have partnerships with most of the major ILS vendors that makes integration super easy. Basecamp offers a way to put your library's data to work for you. You can track how your collection is changing over time. You can answer the rest of the questions. Which collections are outperforming the others? Where are there opportunities to free up space and replace with proven winners? What could we weed? What are you missing? Which branches are stronger than others in subject areas? The biggest benefit of Basecamp is the State of the Collection report, which takes your ILS data and aggregates it into an interactive report, which can be run monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. The report is a higher-level summary to track performance over time. It is completely interactive, allowing you to jump to various parts of the report at any time. It is also printable so that you can take it to present it to staff, management, your library board. If you don't have data, it's really hard to measure a collection of thousands or hundreds of thousands of titles. But what data should you measure? We've distilled what we think are good indicators of a collection's health into 4 main measures. The idea is that if you do these 4 things well, we'd bet with a high degree of certainty that your collection is working well for your patrons. The 4 measures are freshness, which is not how new your collection is, but rather how well it is circulating. Relevance rates how many of the top titles sold by the indie booksellers you own and tells you which ones you're missing. Hit rate will tell you which of the titles you've purchased with a copyright date in the last 16 months have actually circulated and how well, which ones haven't circulated at all. While turnover measures how many times your collection turns over annually. Here's what the front page of the report actually looks like. You use your Edelweiss Plus login to access it, but it's a report that could be printed out if you'd like. The thing that makes the State of the Collection report so easy is that while it's powerful, there's not much to learn. You can see that it's not a short report at 66 pages, but it's really just the same couple of pages repeated for all 45 genres, or the same report repeated for all of your branches. Once you've got the basics down, you're ready to roll. The report starts with a summary of your top 15 strengths and relative opportunities. Every one of these genre names is a clickable link that takes you right to that genre assessment if you'd like. The report is based on benchmarking from peer libraries, and the benchmarking is specific to genres. One of the biggest challenges in improving collection performance is knowing what's a good goal to shoot for, and is that the same for every genre or different? How fresh should a section be, for example, and what's feasible for that section in particular? This is where peer data can be so helpful. This shows the average for all libraries in gray and your library's number in color, so that you can easily see how that genre compares to other peer libraries. What's so cool about looking at peers is that you can see how a genre like art and architecture tends to circulate, and evaluate your collection based off of those indicators rather than comparing it to genres collection with very different dynamics, such as comics and graphic novels. Here's another summary view, the dashboard. Not only does this show at a glance how your overall collection performs on these 4 measures at an aggregate level, but it also shows progress over time. The second row of faded pie charts shows your last report's results. The goal is to move the dial each time. If you click into a measure, you will get more detail. The action really happens at the genre level. Change at the genre level drives improvement at the overall level. This is an example of a genre assessment page for juvenile nonfiction. You can see how it does on all 4 measures compared to the last report, going up or down, with the gray bar being the average of all public libraries. The second row provides more detail, but what is really cool is that you can click into each one of those little charts to access a list of titles to inspire weeding or selection efforts that will improve performance on that measure for that genre, which totally takes the guesswork out of it. You know your collection best, and will take some of these suggestions and not others, but it will identify those titles that you want to look at. If I click on this dark blue area here, I get a list of titles in the freshness section which have not circulated in more than 8 years. You can easily export this into a spreadsheet or PDF document to take to the shelf to further evaluate the titles to determine whether they should be read or not. We go by something called shelf days, which is the number of days that a title has not circulated times the number of copies. We are also providing you with the call number and the ISBN and pub date so that you can better make a good evaluation. If you have multiple branches, you can see cross-branch summary of how those branches are performing in each genre and know where you need to put some efforts into selection. You can also toggle between branches to see information specific for that branch. The appendix actually provides a 1-page summary view of essentially the entire report. Finally, you can toggle the state of the collection report to look at your juvenile collection in more depth to provide more detail. As you can see, Basecamp is an excellent tool to help you evaluate your library's collection. Want more information or to schedule a more in-depth session? Email me at jane@abovethetreeline.com. Thank you and have a good day.